What's up, YouTube? It's your favorite cat on acid here. You're listening to Acid Cat, and I got another story for you guys today. And this one is quite a crazy one. So sit down, grab a drink, grab some snacks, and get ready to listen. So this was actually quite a recent story. I think it happened about a month and a half ago. So in my other stories, you would hear that I would, smoke a lot of weed back in the day and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of friends that I would do this with, I'm still friends with to this day, but I just lost the habit because it was distracting me. It was distracting. It was making my parents upset, that kind of thing. But one of my friends who actually was the one who started this whole thing, he just a couple of months ago, well, a month and a half ago, as I said before, he decided in our group chat the night before, he's like, yo, tomorrow I'm gonna take a Xan, whatever, right? He's like, a Xanax basically. He's like, I'm gonna take a Xan tomorrow. And yeah, so that's what everyone's like, don't do it because weed's fine, but like when you start taking hard drugs like that, you don't know what's gonna happen. And plus, I've heard and I've read that Xanax is more addictive than heroin. So I also told him that I'm like, listen, like you need to keep your shit in control, right? Like you can't be doing this kind of stuff. And he's like, oh, don't worry, I'm fine, this and that. Like, don't worry about me, I'll be good, right? So whatever, it's his life, it's his choices. He can do whatever he wants with his life. That's fine. And the next day rolls around and this guy goes, buys his Xan, whatever, right? His first Xan, he splits it with someone else and he takes half a Xan, right? And basically after that, I don't know what happened because I don't have many classes with this guy or any at all for that matter. And lunchtime rolls around and this guy is like, yo, come with me to the bathroom real quick, right? So I go there. I'm like, I was going anyways, I was gonna go hit a vape, so I'm like, whatever, right? So I go to the bathroom with him and I'm just vaping, and this guy pulls out a baggie, small little baggie, like baggies that people use to put like a gram of weed in to sell. And he pulls it out and there's two Xans in there. He takes one and he's like, yo, I'm feeling so good, I'm feeling so wavy. I'm like, listen, man, like Lil Peep died off of 6 Xans. Don't do the same thing today. So he's like, oh, don't worry, I'll be fine, whatever. So I can't like physically stop the guy. It's his choices, it's his life. I'm not gonna get in trouble if he does. I'm not gonna die if he overdoses. So he takes the Xan right in front of me and he's like, all right, this is gonna be so lit, it's gonna be so much fun, this and that, whatever, right? And he goes off on his day and I go about on mine. And last period rolls around, so it's fourth period, it's about 2:30, right? And school's almost out, it's about 15 minutes till school's out. And I get a call on like my cell phone from, I don't usually take calls in class, but when I read who it was, I had to take it. It was one of like my close friends, and I picked up the call and he's like, yo, there's a problem. Like this guy who took the Xans, I'm not gonna say his name, he's like, listen, he's like really fucked up right now, like he's so fucking high, like we need your help, like after class is done, meet me in front of the auto room, right? So I'm like, all right. So I get one of my other friends who was with me in class who knows him too, and we head down there. So there's like 3 of us now because I pick one more up in the hallway, and we go down to the room and we can't find the guy. We're like, fuck, were we too late? What's going on? Where is he now, right? So we decide to go to where the buses are outside. So we leave the school and we walk towards the buses, and when we get to the area where most people chill before getting on the bus, we see him there and he's like fucked up. Like you can tell by looking at his eyes, he's like drowsy as shit, he can't stand. There's 2 guys holding him there, right? And I comment, I'm like, all right, listen, like what are we gonna do, right? And he's like, yo, like there's nothing else we can do, we can't call his parents, we can't call his sister, no one, so just get him on the bus somehow and make sure like no one knows that he's fucked up, right? So we're like, all right. So I take his bag, I put it on the bus, and one of my other friends like literally picks him up and puts him on, like literally carries him to the bus and puts him on the bus. And like while we're doing it, obviously it's kind of like it's pretty sus how like someone's carrying someone onto a bus. So the bus driver asked me after my friend took him in, yo, is he okay, like what's wrong with him, right? And I'm like, oh, he's just feeling sick, like he threw up a couple times, he's not feeling good, so like we're just trying to help him out, be a good friend. And then she's like, all right. And then another girl who was sitting at the front of the bus, she's like, yo, like is he just really high or like what's going on, right? And I'm like because like, yo, like no one's gonna snitch, right? And I'm like, yeah, he's just pretty fucking high, right? So the whole bus knows because it's fucking pretty obvious. And the bus driver like called me again, and then she's like, listen, should I call the school and get someone to come help him, or like what's going on, right? I'm like, oh no, that's not necessary, like we've got him, we'll take care of him, whatever, like don't worry about it, right? And then she's like, all right. Then when I go sit down, apparently some other random girl that we've never heard of, never even seen, goes up to the bus driver and she's like, call the school, this and that, I think he's on drugs, whatever, right? So like to get out of the school from where our bus is parked, we have to go make a full circle of like the drive-in lot thing, and like we have to pass the very, very front of the school to get out, right? So right when we're about to leave, the bus stops, and like at this point, my friend is straight up passed out. Like he's drop dead passed out, and like the bus stops, right? And we're like, what the fuck, right? Like what's going on? And keep in mind, we're not aware that that people are supposed that people are gonna come on the bus now to see how he is, and both the VPs get on the bus, and this is when we're like, fuck, right? So I turn around, look to his seat, and my other friend who carried him on the bus, we're both shaking this guy. We're like, yo, get the fuck up, get the fuck up, get the fuck up. Like, VPs are here, get up, get up, get up. And he finally gets up, and we're like, yo, listen, you're not on any drugs. You're just really tired. You need a nap, and you threw up. That's what's wrong with you. And he's like, yeah, whatever. He's like slurring his words. Like, he sounds like he's drunk out of his mind, right? So the bus driver points him out to the VPs, and like obviously there's a lot of people on the bus, so the VPs doesn't know exactly who it is. So the principals come towards the back. They're walking, and they're like, "Is anyone sick here? Who's sick here? Like, is there anyone sick, right?" And like everyone on the bus like, "Oh no, no one's sick. No one's sick. It's all good. Like maybe it's just a misunderstanding. Whatever, whatever, right?" And then the bus driver gets up and like physically points him out to the VPs, like, oh, this is the guy who's sick and he's not doing good. So the VPs come to him, and then one of them is like, are you okay? Are you sick? And then he's like, no, 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 miss, I'm fine, I'm fine. I'm just really tired. I took a nap and I threw up, this and that. Like he played it out pretty good, right? But he still sounded like he was like clearly on something. And the VP's like, all right, as long as you're not sick and you're fine, then it's all good, right? And then we're like, yeah, he's fine. Don't worry, we're good. We're taking care of him. It's whatever, right? So that was, holy shit, that was so close. And the VPs got off the bus, and essentially then we're like, all right, look, like we all, like all of us that like we're friends with him, live in different directions from the bus stop. So there was no one there to walk him home. So we're like, fuck, what are we gonna do? Like, I can't come home late because my parents this and that, and like, you know, like it's just not gonna work. So what we do is like we take his phone, and the guy who called me at school, he took his phone and changed his password because he kept trying to find like people with more XANS, right? And obviously we don't want him to take any more. He was already on the verge of fucking overdosing. So we take his phone, I unlock it, and I call his sister. I'm like, yo, listen, this is the problem. He's like really fucked up, and like we need your help, right? And I guess like, I don't know what happened. She didn't come to help him, or something happened. So what ended up happening was like three guys who just bit the bullet, and they're like, all right, we'll walk him home. It's whatever, right? But before I let him leave, I made him do some field sobriety tests, and as they call it. I was like, what's your name? And he tells me his name. I'm like, when were you born? He tells me his birthday. And I'm like, how old are you? He tells me his age. I'm like, what school do you go to? He tells me that. And I asked him to walk in a straight line, and he was doing okay, but he was still slurring his words, and he looked like he just woke up from an intense nap. And so the friends take him home, and he was fine. He went into the garage, and he just ended up sleeping for a whole time, and it was all okay after that. But I guess his reputation is fucked now, because everyone knows he's the one that does all the drugs. He almost fucking died off of Xanax. And yeah, so that was my story with my friend almost dying off of Xans. And thank you guys for listening, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.